Hello and welcome to the Mom Interviews brought to you by LifetimeMothers.com. My name is Kristen Hewitt and each week I speak with everyday moms like you and me. And today I'm so excited to introduce our guest. Her name is Scarlet Paolicchi and she's a blogger at the FamilyFocusBlog.com. She lives in Nashville, Tennessee, and she was also named number 3 in Suzy on PR's top 50 U.S. mom blogger. Scarlet, that's so impressive. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Scarlet, you used to work in retail full-time, but you decided to make a huge life change and stay home. Why did you decide to make that? Why did you decide to do that?
Because I had children, and I knew that I really wanted to stay home with them and be with them. So that was kind of something I knew was going to happen. When it did happen, it was a big life change for me, definitely, because, I mean, you go from every day, all day working with people to being at home. It was kind of a hard adjustment for me to make, to kind of like be still and slow down a little bit. But I definitely knew I wanted to spend that time with my kids as much as I could while they were little and be there for them.
You know, that's an interesting point because a lot of people do decide to stay home once they have kids because they realize they want to be with their kids. What helped you the most with that transition? What do you find as being a work-from-home mom that helped you? Was it getting up every day and still treating work like every day was a work day?
No, I didn't transition to working from home right away.
Okay.
So for me, what really helped was just kind of like finding other people, finding other moms. And most of my friends didn't have kids yet, so I kind of had to network and find some new moms and found a play group where I got together once a week with about 5 or 6 different moms. And it was a lot of fun just to get together and kind of let the babies play. But it was just as much for the moms to get to talk, about stages and see, how things are going and just really have people to interact with that were kind of on the same page that I was on.
Right. So you went from 2 incomes to 1 and you were kind of a stay-at-home mom for a while. And then you started working part-time jobs, correct?
Yes.
So when did you start blogging and why?
I started blogging right at the end of 2009, and I started doing it because I saw someone else doing it, and I was like, hey, if they can do that, I can do that. That sounds fun. Let me give it a whirl. So I did, jumped right in, and I went for it, and it was a lot of fun. So I just kept going, kept doing it, and I've been really happy with it.
So you're pretty much a success, right? Your blog has taken off. When you started your blog, did you do it with the intention to become a monetized, successful blog, or was it more of a hobby?
It was both. I mean, I wanted to be able to make a part-time living out of it, definitely. But I also really enjoyed the creative aspect of it and having something to do that was mine, and creating and feeling like I had something that I could be proud of and that I could work on in my own time around my kids' schedule. But I really enjoyed that, again, of having like, this is mine. I get to work on it. Mm-hmm. So it felt good.
You started using social media and you're very good at it. You're especially great at Twitter. I love your Twitter feed. Did you start using social media at the same time you started the blog, or was that something you were into prior?
I started using Twitter immediately, right when I started the blog, probably like the same day. But it took me a while to get on Facebook. I think it probably took me about like maybe a year. I don't know what took me so long. I guess I used it a little bit on personal, and I didn't think of starting a page for the blog. So that kind of took me a while to get going, but I definitely recommend it to people. It's definitely a huge part of my blog's presence now.
Yeah, so you're to me, in my eyes, you're kind of a success story on social media. So what are some of your tips for any bloggers watching? What are some of your social media tips? What do you find to be the best social media sites for you?
For me, the best social media sites are Twitter, Facebook, StumbleUpon, and Pinterest. All 4 of those are the top traffic drivers from the social media aspects. So I really love Twitter. Like you said, I'm on there all the time. And so that one just kind of clicks for me. And I find it just to be awesome, like, because I meet people on there. I do get a lot of great resources on there where people are like, or they'll even email me and be like, oh, I saw you on Twitter. Would you like to work with us on this? So I meet a lot of different clients and readers on there and expand the readership and get to interact with the current readers. Someone can tell me how they felt about a blog post immediately, and I'll see it immediately. And so it's a lot of fun. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, I like Twitter too. I actually get all of my news in Twitter. I used to go on the internet in the mornings and read my articles. Now I just follow my favorite writers on Twitter. And then StumbleUpon. A lot of people don't know what StumbleUpon is. I like it just because I find interesting articles there. But how do you use StumbleUpon in your business?
I use it. It's actually a very good source of traffic. It's really, I'd say, one of the trickier social medias because you don't really know what you're doing. You get on there and you're like, what? How is this going to help me? And what am I doing? It's not as straightforward in the networking. It doesn't feel like. But once you get the hang of it, it's very useful. And your articles can just take off on there. You can get, 3,000 hits in a day on StumbleUpon if your article just happens to do great. So it's definitely worth trying to figure out and managing. It really involves networking like every other one, but you just kind of, it's a little bit harder to figure out, but you got to, follow a few people and stumble the articles and just kind of find a group that you kind of work with. So it's fun.
Now that you're running a successful website from home, how do you find that family balance time? Because I'm sure you work when the kids are at school, but when you're a small business owner, you're kind of always working, aren't you?
Yes, but I do try to keep it mostly when the kids are at school and work around them. But yeah, there's always times when it runs over. I didn't quite get done right what I wanted to do. And so I'll get them doing their homework and then go work some more or check my Twitter or whatever. So yeah, it runs over, but I do try to keep it pretty managed. I feel like I do a pretty good job having it where I want it. And every once in a while I get overwhelmed and then I have to just kind of, pull back a little bit and restructure a little bit and remember where my priorities are.
Do you work on the weekends as well, or do you just work Monday through Friday?
I mostly try not to work on the weekends. But I do work a little bit on the weekends too, because sometimes I'll, put up a blog post or I always check my social media. I can't help that. But I try not to do much work on the weekends.
Have you ever gone away and done like a digital detox? I'm just curious, and like not done social media?
Yes, all the time. Every year we do like a 1 week in the Smokies camping, and we don't bring any electronics. So we have always that. And then a lot of times when I travel for the blog, you never know what your internet is going to be like. So there are definitely times when, I'll take off of blogging. I try to, when I know what's going to happen, I try to schedule some things beforehand and so that it, I still have that interaction and it doesn't just completely stop.
All right. Mother's Day is coming up. How do you typically spend Mother's Day? Do you like to be surprised or do you like to have a hand in planning your Mother's Day?
I like to be surprised. If I have something that I specifically want, then I'll tell my husband about it. But otherwise, he usually does a good job at just kind of surprising me. And last year we went to the river and he brought a little picnic and we just sat by the river and went swimming and had a picnic. And that was really fun. I really like to spend outdoors and I really like to spend family time all together. So that was just for me.
Well, you must live close to the mountains too, right?
I don't live close to the mountains, but I do. I'm in Nashville.
Right.
So there's like nature everywhere around Nashville, though. There's all kinds of parks. You can go canoeing. There's so many places to go and fun things to do around Nashville. So it's not a problem.
Hey, Scarlett, one of the articles I love that you wrote was about reframing. So can you kind of tell people what reframing is and the benefits for kids and adults?
Okay. It's basically just changing the way that you think a little bit, trying to take a little bit more positive spin on things. It doesn't mean that you ignore problems, but it means that you address them and you remember the positive side of them, So, if your kid falls and hurts themselves, say when they're playing a game, they're like, oh, I'm no good at soccer and soccer's awful and I hate it and I hurt myself, and you help them see the positive side. Well, at least you didn't break your leg. It's not that bad, and you can get up and you can do it again. And maybe you didn't play as well as you wanted to, but maybe you can practice more, and maybe you'll do better. So helping them, encouraging them, being positive, but helping them to fix the problem if they're not satisfied with their playing. To help encourage them to practice more. So just kind of taking a positive light on things.
And it's almost, this is something not just for our kids, it's for adults as well, but it's almost like just teaching them how to manage their reactions, basically.
Absolutely. It really is. And I think that that's really the key to happiness, is really being able to, remember all that you have to be grateful for and kind of, when you start to freak out, go, okay, is it really that bad? Maybe I could calm down a little bit. Maybe I could, look at this a little bit differently. It's not going to be the end of the world here.
What a great message. And I know that's the message of your blog as well. All right, Scarlett, I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but I know that this is the part of the show where LifetimeMothers.com has sent you a little gift to thank you for being a part of our show. Did you receive that gift?
I did, and it's all cute gift wrap with little bow.
Now, you were asked not to open it, so I have to ask, did you sneak a peek or have you actually waited?
I did not open it previous to the show.
All right. How does it feel to get an early Mother's Day gift? Are you excited to see what's inside?
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what's inside. It always feels good to open a gift.
Before I let you open it, one more question. Do you buy jewelry for yourself, or are most of the jewelry gifts you get bought for you?
I guess most of the gifts are bought for me now that I have my husband. I used to buy jewelry, but yeah, now, I don't buy so much. I find that I have less pieces now that I'm a mom, but they're pieces that I really like. And yeah,
They're
usually.
beautiful. All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
Open it. I won't keep you in suspense any longer. You received the silver Swarovski Dangle heart necklace. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Oh, look at how pretty. I love it. Are there birthstones on that, Scarlett?
Yes. So, I dropped it. It looks like, yep. It's, and this is my birthstone, peridot, and then my son's birthstone, and my daughter's birthstone, and my husband's birthstone. So it's a great little family necklace.
Oh, isn't it beautiful? Do you have a lot of birthstone jewelry?
I do have some, definitely, because it really does, capture the meaning. My husband gave me one for when my first daughter was born. So definitely, I really enjoy, having that little bit of your family with you all the time.
Yeah, I love it too. And especially when you leave the house, you always have your kids with you, even when they're at school. Well, thank you so much, Scarlett, for joining me. And everyone, check out Scarlett's blog. It's thefamilyfocusblog.com. And more importantly, follow her on Twitter because she's awesome on Twitter and I love her Twitter feed. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
To our fabulous audience, before we let you go, we want to hear from you. We have a question for you. Do you agree with Scarlett? Should Mother's Day be a surprise, or do you like to have an active role in planning it? Weigh in and join the conversation on LifetimeMothers.com Facebook page. And don't forget, Mother's Day is coming up on May 10th, so if you need a special gift for that special mom, log on to LifetimeMothers.com for your personalized jewelry for mothers. And if you'd like to be a guest on the Mom Interviews, please email our producer at producer@mominterviews.com. Thank you so much for watching the Mom Interviews today. For LifetimeMothers.com, I'm Kristen Hewitt. See you next time.